notes, we're going to be talking about a lesson on how to use this graphing inequalities, how to use inequalities, and solving an equation with an inequality symbol in it. Okay? Or solving inequalities. Now, we've spent the last few lessons learning how to solve equations. This is an addition equation, so we can solve it by adding. And if you looked at it this way, n plus 8 equals 19, all of you would know what to do, right? N plus 8 equals 19.
Yeah.
We know how to solve that. You'd add negative 8 to both sides. Now, this equation is very similar. The only difference is this symbol says that this side is greater than or equal to 19. It's not equal to, but it could be equal to. They just replaced the equal sign with an inequality sign. That's the only difference. Okay? So, to solve it, we're going to do the same thing that we did before. Alright? Add negative 8 to both sides. That shows that n plus 0 is 11. But now instead of n equals 11, we have to write it as n is greater than or equal to 11, because that's the symbol we have. You have to use that symbol instead. Okay? We use the symbol that's given. Then, in order to get our solution, we have to graph it at the end. Now, we worked on graphing today, and all of you did very well on graphing. We know that if the symbol is written, or the variable is written first, that we're going to graph the number on the number line. You now know that the greater than or equal to sign, any greater than or equal to sign or less than or equal to sign, you have to use a solid dot when you mark it on the number line, right? And you know that the arrow will point the same direction. You'll shade the same direction as the arrow because the variable is first. N is greater than or equal to 11. Right? Now look at this example. 26. Second example. Negative 26 is greater than y plus 14. Negative 26 is greater than y plus 14. Now, we have to start on the side with the variable, right? Start on the side with the variable. Find that 14. You got to get rid of that 14. How do you get rid of the 14?
You add negative 14.
Add negative 14. That gives us 0. And whatever you add on one side, you have to add on the other side. So now on the other side, on this side, negative 26 plus negative 14 is, Nikki? Negative 40. We bring down the sign that we have in there, and it says that negative 40 is greater than y. Okay? Now, we have our inequality, but the only difference is now the number is not, or the variable is not written first, the number is written first. So when we graph it, this means that y is less than negative 40. No problem. We turn this whole thing around. Instead of negative 40 is greater than y, we put the y over here, we flip the sign around, and y is less than negative 40. That means that the arrow goes to the left. Mark negative 40 with what? Open dot, because it's a less than sign. It's not less than or equal to. It's just the less than sign. Use an open dot and an arrow to the left. Dylan.
What is that I use like under the one?
That's 14.
14.
No,
Up there.
under.
Next
yeah.
to 13.
That's the number one. On the number one.
On the number line?
That's 14.
Oh, okay.
11, 12, 13, 14.
Maybe we're just missing the bottom piece.
Yep. So, the process that we're using to solve this is the same, isn't it? We're still using addition. We're adding the opposite to both sides. The only difference is you have to graph it at the end. Okay? Alright. Let's do another one.
I wasn't done.
Well, we'll come back to it. Let's look at one from your book. Let's say that we have example 3. N minus 15 is less than 3. Example 3. N minus 15 is less than 3. Alright? What do we have to do here? We have to insert
Plus sign in front of.
insert a plus sign. So you recognize this is a negative 15. We got to get rid of this negative 15. What do we do here? Class? Everybody add what? Add 15 to both sides. Now on this side we have 0. N plus 0 is less than what? 18. That means that N is less than 18. Now we can graph this. Draw a number line. What kind of dot should we use? Chase?
Open.
Open dot at 18. That's where the number we found. And our arrow should go to the what? To the left. Same direction because it says N is less than 18. Okay? Any questions on what we're doing here? We've just added the graphing step. Okay? Alright. Thank you. I'll go back to the notes.
That